Hello, welcome to YOLO Crypto. Now, have you ever wondered why some cryptos suddenly explode in price? Well, I'm here to tell you that these pumps are not random and there's a strategy behind them. If you know how they work, then you can be ahead of the game. My name is Daniel Scott Jacobs, and we're going to talk about how crypto pump works, the anatomy behind them, and what you can possibly do to beat them, because it is not simply retail traders buying and selling as you may think. But before we get started, please hit the subscribe button if you like or you enjoy watching crypto content, okay? So you can follow this channel and watch more of me talk to you about how you can beat the crypto market, okay? Let's get started. So, how do crypto projects seemingly pump overnight? How does it really work? You might think it's simply retail investors buying at random, and sometimes there's a lot of them, so sometimes the price goes up a lot. Okay, not quite that simple. On the other hand, you probably think it's similar with the downside. When a price falls rapidly, it must be a completely random person with a large quantity of tokens, or perhaps many people with a small amount of tokens that happen to sell at the same time. Or you think it's people selling, and then there's a liquidation event, and people trading with leverage that suddenly lose their positions and get liquidated. Sure. Now, these things do happen, right? A crypto can pump very quickly simply because retail traders have access to purchase the coin. Think about like Dogecoin, okay? That was all retail. You have to know that if a coin pumps because of retail, then before any of that even happens, retail has to have a real opportunity to buy the coin. In other words, the coin has to be listed on exchanges, right? Most of the time, when you see these big crypto projects that get a lot of attention that you see on Twitter, on social media, they're already listed, or they had just gotten listed on a SEX, on a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Binance. Okay, those are the big main two with the most user base. Okay, 20% of crypto holders are on Coinbase. Okay, that is a fact. Now, in this video, you will learn more often than not it's actually a strategy by insiders and professional whale traders that have a lot more capital than those of us retail traders, right? I want you to prepare yourself for what you're about to hear, okay? If there are small children in the room, you should ask them to leave or smother them with a pillow. I'm just kidding. But let's talk about the psychology of a pump, okay? So what is a pump? A pump is when a price goes up pretty rapidly, right? We're not talking about like a 10% or 20% increase. We're talking about 100% plus in a number of hours or in a 24-hour period. I would think a pump would be like 100% in 24 hours or more, okay? Generally, a lot of time, it's more. I mean, how many X's did Dogecoin do basically overnight? Like 20, like a lot, right? Let's get started. So, the first phase is called the stealth phase, right? Now, this is a pump. These are most pumps. Most pumps are going to follow this criteria, okay? A lot of you probably don't know this. And it's actually insiders. Usually, most of the time when there's a pump, a lot of it's insiders and developers. So whales and insiders, they accumulate quietly, okay? So the coin comes out, they're buying right away, obviously to get the coins at the lowest price, okay? The next phase is going to be awareness. So this is when hype is manufactured, okay? And I repeat the word manufactured, right? Because a lot of it is not authentic, right? It's not real. You'll have, if devs and insiders and whale traders know they're going to be making, a few million off the coin, they've got no problem throwing 100,000 out to influence on Facebook or on Instagram to spread hype, right? To shill the token or to make content based around that token, right? And a lot of times they'll give them tokens. I know YouTubers personally, they were given 10,000 or 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 120,000 of a certain token, right? Be like, listen, make a 5-minute video on this, and it's usually never checked up. They say, make the video, they send them the tokens, the video's made, and there's never any other contact like that. That's generally how it goes. So that would be the awareness phase, right? And Twitter is a big proponent of this. Now, next to the euphoria phase. Now, this is where retail traders come in. This is where we come in if you haven't been in already. The strategy I'm going to show you in a little bit, a few minutes, is going to tell you how you can try to get around this, okay? So we push the price higher, right? We continue to buy and we push the price higher. During this time, we don't really know that there's like a man behind the curtain and there's devs and developers who are planning on it. Sometimes you can't even call it a rug pull. A rug pull is when you have a price dip of like 50%. generally speaking. I don't know what the actual criteria or definition of. I'm sure there probably is one, or there will be one in due time. But regardless, they have the motive of selling all of their tokens. They're not going to continue to develop the project, not going to continue to hype the project. They simply want to get in and out, as they say. All right. Now, lastly comes the dump phase, and we all can imagine what that is, right? This is where insiders and early professional whale traders sell, causing a big price dip. Now, because of the dip momentum, retail panics, continually selling pressure, and possibly, or more often than not, if the coin is, when the coin, because if we're talking about a big capital here, the coin's going to be listed on centralized exchanges. So there could be liquidation events. Now, you might not call that a rug pull, but if there's a 20% dip, that could be what we're talking about. Even 10%, depending on the market cap and the liquidity in the project. Okay. So how to profit without getting wrecked, right? This is what we all want to know. So there's things to identify, right? You can identify the stealth phase, right? This is when developers and whale traders are buying. Now, you might not be able to identify for that specific coin the developer's wallet, but you can certainly identify the whale wallets, right? So identify whale wallet activity, right? You have to figure out which whales what their wallet address is. Now the thing about this is that whales can change wallet addresses very simply. They simply make a new MetaMask or make a new Phantom wallet, right? And it takes about 10 seconds, and they just simply transfer all the tokens, okay? So it's not like once you find it, you're done. It's kind of an ongoing thing, but you want to figure out which wallets are theirs, and then you can track them. So when you see them make big purchases, you also purchase, right? So that's something you can do. Another thing to look for is new listings on exchanges. Now, I've made a video about this before. If you're interested, you can watch my I forget the title, but it's about front-running Coinbase. Once a coin gets listed on Coinbase, to buy that coin right away, and I tell you some tips in order to execute efficiently, right? So new listings on exchanges with a large user base, okay? Especially low-cap coins, okay? When a new coin gets listed, you want to take a look at the market cap and see where it's at. Regardless, I always buy the coin. I'll always throw at least $1,000 on the $1,000 in on the low end, right? And as I said, Coinbase, 20% of people that hold cryptocurrency have an account on Coinbase. So just the sheer ability to be able to purchase that coin, because they might not have an account anywhere else, or they might not have seen that coin before, a lot of times they buy it or look at it on, they'll see, wow, this coin's going up 30%. Now it's up 50%, and then they buy it, right? Which is not the right thing to do, but that is what retail does. Even if a coin gets listed on Coinbase and I see that it's already up 20 or 30%, I'll still buy it because I know that momentum will continue. And a lot of times, if you don't see the pump in the first 24, 48 hours, it's not going to happen. After a week, it's definitely not going to happen. Okay, so I sell that coin and I move on and I wait for the next coin to be listed. So you want to set up notifications for that. But that video has a lot more on that, so you can watch that. Next thing is retail sentiment. You want to watch retail sentiment. All right. Now the way to do this is on Twitter. You can look at Lunar Crush. They look at analytics for social media, and then look at Telegram. Okay, if the coin is a Telegram channel, join that. And a lot of times you want to see how long that's been around. A lot of times with pump and dump schemes, they're made and then people are on them, and then activity just fizzles out, right? Because the coin has been pumped and dumped already. Now, these are some rules to trade by. Okay, you want to make sure that you follow these rules. If a coin pumps 100% plus overnight or in 8 hours or less, then it's too late. Okay, sorry, it's too late. If you insist on entering a position in the specific coin or for that specific project, then wait for a dip. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Another thing that I can't stress enough, and I've messed up on this and I no longer do because it is crucial and it is the worst feeling in the world. If a coin does a 2x or more, take partial profits. As soon as you see a 2x, start taking partial profits if you haven't already. I generally start taking profits before 1x even. Now, depending on market cap, or more importantly, the liquidity, because a coin can have a market cap of 500 million, have liquidity of 5 million, and they can pull the liquidity out when the project's done, right? It can still be a rug pull. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, the higher the market cap, the less possibility it is of being a rug pull, but you can still see significant dips, right, from those developers and those early whale professional buyers, right? And waiting for the peak is a fucking loser's game, okay? Your exit should be planned before you even buy the coin, and this is something that I can't stress enough, and this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that retail makes, is they will buy a coin and they have no plan on selling, okay? You don't plan to die with this coin. You're not going to take it into the grave with you, right? So you should, unless it's Bitcoin, because Bitcoin I buy and I never sell. If I buy Bitcoin, I do not sell it. I don't trade Bitcoin. I trade other things. Your exit should be planned. Another thing that I cannot stress enough, okay? Nothing feels worse than being in profit by a large amount and then walking away with nothing. And at this point, I will share a story with you. So I was trading. This is actually one of the last trades I made before I went into crypto for 100% because I no longer trade stocks, okay? I might buy like some Mara or some Riot, which are publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies, okay? I might buy that. I could see myself buying MicroStrategy or even Tesla just because Elon, I like Elon. But I'm not in the stock market because they shut down trading, okay? So I was trading this coin and I had been taking a lot of licks. I was like, I'm fucking due. I'm due. I was trading pre-market, right? And I was up like 25 or 30,000. The market opens and they halt trading. So that is when essentially the stock is, for like a number of reasons. It could be a news thing. Sometimes they'll shut down a stock for an entire day and that you can't buy, you can't sell. Whatever position you have, you keep. But a lot of times it's for like 10-minute intervals. Now this stock, right? I forget what it is. It was a low cap gem that got listed that day. It was an IPO. And they froze trading, not for like 10 or 20 minutes, for fucking like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something crazy. And I'm up like 20,000. Trading opens back up for a second. I go down, I'm up like 10 grand. They pause trading for another 20 minutes, for 20 minutes longer. Then they open back up. You want to know how much I made on the trade? Fucking zero. I made zero. And that was like one of maybe the last trade I ever made in the stock market. I liquidated my account and moved everything into cryptocurrency. And that's what I do now. It was just brutal. It was the worst feeling in the world. I was mad. I remember I was in a bathroom at a coffee shop, like yelling, and my brother was like, "What the fuck are you yelling about?" And I was like, "I don't know." It was devastating for me. So just be careful. A lot of things that I just talked about is happening in the meme core market. So always use caution, right? Proper risk management. Now, if you want to see more videos like this, then please hit the subscribe button, okay? And if you actually liked this video, please hit the like button. And thank you so much. I hope to see you next time. Have a good day.